Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So we have a new lockbox coming. Now this was leaked on the preview server a good while back, and it's called the Stealth Lockbox, and it has this very cool looking Rimefire Salamander. Now unfortunately this lockbox is like no other that we've had before. It still has that Mythic account wide mount along with a legendary version, and then we have a new Shadow Elemental companion along with then just insignias there, some enchantments, and then you can get the following 3 sets of rewards. So that was the first list, the second one is just up to 1,000 trade bars, and the third set there is those random rewards from cubes of augmentation down to stronghold vouchers, and ideally you'll get those upgrade tokens there. And unfortunately, like we've seen with the knockbox where we could see those actual drop chances on things, it doesn't seem they're going to be doing that from here on out on the normal lockboxes, although they might still yet do it if we as the community push for that. It would be very nice to have the transparency on at least what chances things are in those lockboxes. Very interestingly, this Rimefire Salamander does have a pretty unique combat power. We can see there you'll summon a barrier of frost, which will release you from most control effects, so somewhat good in PvP, and otherwise I guess you can break free of a stun or a knock here and there. But normally we'll just be casting this during an artifact call. It will increase your own damage by up to 15% for 10 seconds. You'll also slow your target by only up to 13%, odd number there, and reduce the target's deflect by 15%, meaning they will deflect 15% less of the time, meaning it'll be much easier to deal that maximum damage rather than them reducing your damage by 50%. And then you can also reduce the target's outgoing damage. So here goes the debuffing ability, and that's a 15%. And then you can also reduce the target's critical chance by 13%. Meaning they'll critically hit you only 37% of the time rather than their normal 50%. So overall, in conclusion there, it's not really a mount that I would use as a DPS character. You still want that tunnel vision. A boost of only 15% to your overall damage is pretty minimal. Otherwise, I would run this on a tank or a healer, mainly due to those utility buffs of reducing the enemy's deflect, and then the survivability buff by reducing its outgoing damage and reducing its critical chance. Otherwise, the mount just has an equip power of crit strike. 3,000 there on the maximum. Now we can only assume that the legendary Frost Salamander will have the exact same capabilities, just on a lesser rarity, and they might even stack up like the Pegasus are doing right now. Now if we do have this new unique companion, as you can see here, and it will have the ability of a player bonus. On an attack, you have a 10% chance to strike your target for additional force, doing 45 extra magnitude damage. Usually all of these are pretty bad. The extra damage that they deal doesn't seem to scale off your stats, and the chance at which they proc is far too low to actually make it worth running these instead of just a 7.5% to your damage from what we have with the Echoes of Prophecy campaign, where we have this Neverwinter Knight. And then of course there are the other contributing ones which will give you that extra power, and if you're a tank you want like awareness and so on, and you get my point. These chance to proc abilities are pretty redundant in the current meta. As for how it's going to work in active combat, we have yet to find out. We currently do not have it even on the preview server right now because they removed it as a leak a while back, and I'll try to get my hands on this as soon as this comes out. Again, this will be December the 2nd, so that'll just be next week there, the following Thursday. So unless you need the bolster, you don't yet have that 100% mount bolster from having 10 mythic mounts, then I wouldn't worry about this mount overall. You can see the bonus here is its combat power is nothing compared to something that's going to increase the overall damage by 15% to the party, like you have the Eclipse line, the T-Rex, the Swarm, or even that noble Pegasus. So again, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going, and if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.